Utah Puck Report. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, and we're still just doing it from my front room. There's my front door. That's where my cat sits on that chair over there. So now you got that's behind the scenes of the Utah Puck Report. Gary can't be with us today. His kids are in tryouts. We're recording this on Saturday afternoon, and as you know, youth hockey. He's got a U10 trying out for hockey today, and youth hockey's just starting to get tryouts, which is usually, we're usually well past that by now. On the show today, we've got a couple of friends. Ryan Tall, who's been on the show before. Ryan, former equipment manager for the Utah Grizzlies, current equipment manager for the San Diego Gulls in the American Hockey League. Ryan, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having us on, Jay.
It's good to have you back. Sick mustache. I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but we're letting it ride.
You know what? It really fits you. There are a lot of guys that it doesn't fit. And like we were talking before the show, I had just let mine go. And it was just long. It was in my mouth when I was eating. And it was pointed out that not only was it gross, but it was also out of policy for the fire department. So I had to rein it in a little bit.
Hey, that's all right. Dial it in. So
I wish I was all official like Jocko on his podcast to be like, if you didn't hear Ryan's podcast before, tune into episode 36. But I have no idea. We don't number ours. We just name them. So if you want to hear Ryan's episode.
Yeah, it was a few months ago.
Yeah, just look it up under Ryan. And I want to talk to you about a lot of stuff, but I want to also introduce Riggs Zeidler. Riggs, a longtime friend of mine, a kid I had the opportunity to coach. I got lucky because I had just a batch of awesome kids to coach, and Riggs was definitely in that group. And, Riggs, how are you?
Thanks for the show. Good. How are you? And thanks for having us again.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. We have some stuff to talk to you about, and you guys are you're putting together Hungry for Hockey. Is that what it's called?
Yep, that's it.
Hungry for Hockey.
I thought that's what it's called, but then once I turned on the microphone and I stopped looking at all the stuff I had written down, I just start making stuff up.
It happens.
Riggsy, are you still playing hockey at all?
Just here and there. I've actually been coaching Learn to Play for the last couple of weeks in Davis County. So that's about all the hockey I get time for now, but I'll play pickup every once in a while, men's league.
Yeah? We got to get you on a team, man. You're a lot of fun to have on a team, and you're a lot of fun to have in the locker room.
Absolutely. I'd love to play.
Ryan, I want to talk to you about the end of the season in the AHL. And we had Kanasowicz on here, and we talked about how it ended for the Utah Grizzlies and how, just one day you're in the locker room and you're preparing for a game, and then it's abruptly over. You had suspicions, but how did it go for you guys in San Diego?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So we were actually on the road in Tucson, and we were in the middle of a game when the NBA thing came out with Rudy Gobert and all of that. So it was kind of like, all right, the NBA's getting shut down. What's going to happen across the board? A lot of, who knows, right? And we finished the game, and the next morning it was shut down. Email out, everything was out. A press release that, no practices, no games until further notice, kind of on a holding pattern until they figured everything out. And as time's gone on, it's still on a holding pattern. They actually just released that the American Hockey League won't start earlier than December 4th. So that's kind of what they're shooting for now. And
I saw that message.
With how fluid the situation is.
What does that do for a guy like you some of these players now, like the East Coast League, those guys don't make enough money anyway, and they have summer jobs, and but guys in your league, usually this is what they do for a living, and this is the only thing they do for a living, and for the most part, your staff is there year round. You don't get to come home during the whole summer. They expect you to be, you're a full time employee there, but now
there's camps usually and stuff like that too, but.
So what does this do for you right now? Is your employment on furlough?
We're not currently. We're very, very fortunate. They treat us beyond well. The Ducks organization does, because that's who owns the San Diego Gulls. It's the Samueli family, and they are the greatest. So we're doing the best that we can to stay busy. You have to prepare like you're going to play and hopefully it is sooner than later. So there's still things that you can do to get ready and be ready to go once they do say, hey, training camps are opening up, whether that's going to be small groups or whether that's going to be a full team training camp or what they're going to decide. We've got to be ready for any kind of scenario that's going to come our way. So right now it's still kind of, might be December, it might be January, but camps obviously are going to have to open before that. So it's all preparing for multiple different scenarios right now.
Yeah, and I can't even imagine the logistics. I get made fun of all the time because I have multiple jobs, but one of my other jobs, besides being a firefighter and besides working for KSL, is I also run movie sets. Like, I supply EMTs and paramedics for movies that are filmed in Utah, and I also now I have to supply COVID compliance officers. And the logistics behind that, like just trying to keep actors quarantined and away from different staff and having to set up their rooms and the set and where they're going to eat their dinners and where they're going to have snacks. And then I think about, man, how are you going to have 22 guys, 30 guys trying out for a team? How are you going to keep them 6 feet apart or 10 feet apart? Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, I could see it being like yeah, exactly. I could see it being like a small group scenario, maybe 10 guys go on the ice at this time. Those guys get in and out. Another set of guys. I don't know, but I could see maybe starting with something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Do you keep an eye on what's going on around here as far as Utah players in the AHL?
Yeah, with Daniel Brickley, obviously, he had some games with Ontario, which is San Diego and Ontario. We play each other, more than just a handful of times throughout the year since we're so close.
Right.
But yeah, I try and keep a watch on everybody now that we've got some guys in the league. And
yeah, you got another one coming. That's what I was going to ask. So with Daniel, it was weird because he started the season and then had a horrible a blood pathogen and almost
super unfortunate.
Yeah, and missed almost the entire season, and then at the end of the season gets traded. So just or not traded, loaned. I got to be careful what I say. It looked like a trade, but it was after the trade deadline, so it looked like some, I don't know, call it what it is. It's like a back alley deal or whatever, because that was a trade, but I don't know who owns his rights, and I've been in the locker room with him. He's been on some of those drop-ins that I've been lucky enough to play in since COVID, and yeah, he's kind of wondering what his future is too. But what I was going to ask you is, now you have another Utah player in Ontario. You saw Nick Halloran signed a deal with the Kings and with Ontario.
I did. I saw that. That's great. I don't know Nick personally, but it's always good to see Utah players advancing to those higher levels.
Yeah, so it's great too, and he's a great kid. Another kid I had an opportunity to coach, and just great family. And I'm really excited to see how well he does. And I know that, he was in the Hobie Baker running 2 years in a row and had some really good seasons. Had a hip injury, and had he not had that hip injury in the middle of his junior season, I think we'd be hearing a lot more about him, and that contract would be a two-way. And I imagine I don't know how it's going to go now, honestly, because of COVID. I don't know. But I would have imagined he started the season in camp with the Kings and then got reassigned to Ontario. But now with Kings, who knows? But I expect we see him get a shot, because that kid can score goals, and he's seen him do it at every level.
That's what we all hope to see.
And you still have some of our former Utah Grizzlies there in San Diego?
Oh, we had Kevin Boyle. I don't know if that name that's been a few years since he's been with the Grizzlies. But goaltender Kevin Boyle was with us this year, and he's awesome. Yeah. So now that the affiliation's different, not too many Grizz guys around.
Right. I knew Farragher was trying to stick there, and I knew Frank would, but it's always fun. We like to keep track of the guys, and maybe I should have looked and seen who was there, but it's just such a weird season.
It is. With it ending like that, it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I just watched the first NHL playoff game this morning right before we did this interview, and it just feels like it's a different season. It feels like everything that happens.
It's been so long.
Because guys are healed and it's just weird. All right, so let's talk about what you guys have going on. This is pretty cool. First off, so you have Hungry for Hockey.
Correct. Yes.
Tell me about how this came about and what it is and how we can help.
So it's a barbecue charity event that we created. It kind of came as just a funny idea a few years back. Like me, Riggs, and our other friends, we all just love hanging out and having barbecues. And when I'm home in the summer for a short amount of time, we all try and spend as much time together as we can. And we figured, hey, like if we're gonna have a big barbecue and have fun with it, we might as well have some positive outcome from it other than just hanging out. So why don't we try and turn it into a charity event where we can raise some money and give back to local youth hockey.
So Riggs, tell us about your involvement in this and what you guys have done so far this season or this summer to get it going.
So like we've talked about already in the show, COVID's kind of an interesting deal. Ryan and I actually grew up together. I mean, we met, I think I was 8. Ryan's a year older than me. So we've been doing hockey this whole time together. That's our friendship, is hockey. Since we stopped playing, it kind of grew a little bit outside of hockey, and he's one of my best friends. So that's kind of where the Hungry for Hockey started. We love hockey. That's how we got to know each other and met a ton of other people. COVID has made it a little difficult compared to last year because with the social distancing and stuff like that. But I think we've got this event planned out to be pretty good for what the circumstances have given us. But no, we're excited for it. We've got good food coming. Good.
So who's your food supply by?
Joe's. What's his?
Sammy Joe's Smoke Shack.
Sammy Joe's. Yep, that's it.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Sammy Joe's Smoke Shack.
And he's been great to work with us. We're excited to have him. It'll be awesome. We're excited for that.
All right, cool. So how does this work? Where's it at and when is it?
So it's August 8th. August 8th at 6 p.m. in Bountiful City Park, right next to the South Davis Rec Center.
Okay.
Yep,
August 8th.
Yep. So August 8th, 6 p.m., food truck. We have great raffle prizes. So there's going to be a raffle with, some signed pucks and stuff, some sticks, and then, obviously we've got some hockey stuff in there, but as well, there's some we got a fly fishing basket donated, and we've got a decent amount of donations that'll be on for raffle as well.
Okay. And what does this money go to?
It all goes to underprivileged kids that normally couldn't afford hockey. So anybody that's financially struggling to come up with the cost to play hockey, because we all know how expensive it is. And Riggs and I have both been very fortunate to play from a young age all the way. Families can't afford the high costs of it. It's probably one of the most expensive sports to play. So 100% of our donations go to the families that need financial help to put their kids on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, hockey is ridiculous. It gets more and more expensive every year. It blows my mind that what started as a farmer sport in Canada, where all the farmers' kids could just play, is now, I mean, I just bought some sticks. In fact, they're right over there. I just got some nice sticks over there.
Ace.
And, you're looking $250 a stick. You're looking $3,000 for a season just to be on the ice and get practices and have games, and it just starts getting a little crazy. So it's amazing that guys like you get together and create opportunities for other people to play the game. It's my favorite thing is to share the game and to get people on the ice. And I've been fortunate. I talk firefighters into trying it for the first time in their life, and they go out and they try it, they love it, and then they end up in men's leagues and playing. So I feel like that's a pretty cool opportunity for me to grow the game. And it's cool that you guys found this way for you guys to grow the game as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have a website? You have a Facebook page? How can I help promote this?
Yep,
we do have a Facebook page.
Yep, we're on Facebook, Hungry for Hockey. We've posted a few flyers and different information for this year's event, and we'll continue to update that through the next week. And we also have a Venmo account because there are people that aren't going to be able to make it, or due to the COVID, that's, there's people that are going to be staying inside as well. So we do have a Venmo account if anyone is open to donating on that as well, or whether you're out of state or whatever the situation may be.
Okay. And that's all that information is available on and I'll put your Facebook page on there and your Venmo information when we post this. And then also, what if you're a player and you are looking for some help paying your tuition? How do they get a hold of you? Same way?
I would talk to whoever the organizer is for that organization. We're kind of behind the scenes guys as far as that goes. We personally don't need the recognition or any of that. We just want to do our part and help. And I don't know, who is financially struggling, as I'm not in the organization all year. But if there is someone that is looking for some type of a scholarship, it would be, I would say, talk to their programs director or somebody within the program.
All right, cool.
Yep. Very
cool. Well, you guys, I just wanted to get this podcast out and let people know that this was going on. And as we're slowly getting back into hockey, one of the things I've noticed, and one of the itches you guys are scratching with this event, is it was crazy to go into the locker room and sit down with guys that you used to see 3 or 4 times a week, and then all of a sudden you didn't see or talk to them for 4 months. And just that camaraderie of hanging out and then going out in the parking lot and enjoying a soda or whatever, and still talking after a game, right? And
yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like this Hungry for Hockey is going to be a perfect opportunity to, of course, I have to say stuff like we're going to practice social distancing, but and I know that smokehouse, I've been there with Mike McDonald once before. I know that their food's amazing, and we all love good barbecue. So
exactly.
This sounds like an awesome event, and hopefully anybody listening to this or watching this podcast joins us and comes out and has some barbecue, and I'll be there.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. Come out for some barbecue, great prizes, and like you said, just the camaraderie of hanging out and trying to catch up and be together in some different times that we have going on in the world. That's one of our goals, is just having fun, being together, and it's all for a good cause too. Something that means a lot to us. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time. Riggsy, it's good talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, you too.
We'll see you on the ice soon.
Ryan, yeah, absolutely.
Good as always. I wear my San Diego shirt to the gym. Everybody, every once in a while, I don't think anybody has any idea how cool that shirt is or what it even means, because I go to a gym where there's not very many hockey players. But
hey, we love it. We appreciate it.
So I can't wait to see the beginning of the season. I can't wait to see how our 2 Utah guys fare against San Diego. And good luck to both you guys. We'll see you this weekend at Hungry for Hockey.
Yep, we'll see you all this weekend. Thank you, Jay.
And that is the Utah Puck Report.